So you wanna play?
Double CRYO Xiao.
Well, first you start with the build.
What's that? I was saving this can of fish for when I was really hungry. Stop looking at it like that.
Once the snow is thick enough, we can eat it.
Is that right?
That should be enough intro for the characters in this team, right? To make artifact farming a little easier, rather than getting the best 4-piece set for Xiao and his teammates, except for sports, we'll focus on getting their desired stats instead. For Xiao, he can use any 2-piece of Viridescent Venerer, Desert Pavilion Chronicle, and any of the 2-piece attack sets. For weapons, he can use Staff of Homa or Primordial Jade Winged Spear for 5-star, and Deathmatch or Missive Wind Spear for 4-star. Onto his supports. Diona, Jean, Venti, and Sucrose will use a 4-piece Noblesse. While the 4-piece set bonus doesn't stack, the duration does refresh. This means that the Noblesse buff is still active even during Xiao's field time. On the other hand, Rosaria and Ganyu can use any 2-piece of Blizzard Strayer, Noblesse, Emblem, and any of the 2-piece attack sets. The rotation. To start the rotation, start with Diona's hold skill and burst, then switch to Rosaria and use her skill and burst. Switch to Sucrose and use her burst and skill, then quickly switch to Xiao and use his skill twice and his burst. Jump and plunge 12 times. Then switch to Sucrose and use her skill. Then quickly switch to Xiao and use his skill.
Absorption tech.
Worthless. Here. Worthless. Here.
Stand clear.
The pros and cons. Starting with the advantages, they're excellent in AoE scenarios. Although Xiao's plunge animation makes it look like his AoE is small, that is definitely not the case. His damage area is actually huge, so crowd control isn't all that necessary. Add Ganyu and Rosaria's burst, and you'll be able to clear mob chambers pretty quickly as long as you start your rotation in the correct position. They're easy and straightforward to play. The rotation is no going back and forth between characters, except when funneling particles to Xiao at the end of his field time. Even so, that funneling time is pretty short if you reach Xiao's ER requirement. And of course, the CRYO resonance from Diona and Rosaria or Ganyu. This resonance gives 15 crit rate against enemies applied with CRYO. With Diona and Rosaria or Ganyu's CRYO application, and Xiao being able to swirl and reapply it to other enemies, the uptime of this buff is consistent. For the disadvantages, they're slightly weak against bosses. Though not necessarily weak in single target scenarios, the team's DPS falls mainly due to its sub-DPSs. Rosaria and Ganyu's bursts are weaker in single target scenarios, especially if their damage does not trigger an elemental reaction. Skill requirement increases in single target situations. His attack combo changes from just plunge to normal charge plunge, nicknamed Jet for simplification. It's an attack string that cancels the animation of Xiao's charge attack while still dealing his high charge attack damage. Doing this combo requires perfect timing so as not to waste time and lose DPS on single target scenarios. And that's it for
Double CRYO Xiao.
I hope you liked this video. Leave any questions you have in the comments and I'll try to answer them as best as I could. Also subscribe if you want more team guides for the current banner characters. See you in the next video!